Welcome. We're going to be looking ahead to 2026, and really, we're here to talk about a critical question that every leader is facing: enterprise AI governance. Honestly, the choices you're making right now are going to set the entire course for your organization in this new age of AI. So, let's dive right in.
I want to kick this off with a pretty direct question, especially for every CXO, board member, and policymaker listening. Fast forward to 2026. Is your organization going to be out in front, leading the pack, using AI to innovate and to grow? Or are you going to be playing defense, constantly reacting, held back, maybe even defined by the risks you didn't manage? The answer to that question, it all comes down to governance. And let's be absolutely clear about something. AI governance is not some compliance checkbox you can just hand off to the IT department. Not anymore. It has officially moved from the server room to the boardroom. By 2026, you have to see it as a core pillar of your business strategy, just as critical as your financial oversight or how you manage your people. We're talking about resilience, reputation, and really your fundamental right to operate. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about the AI imperative, why this is so urgent right now. Then, we'll get into mapping out the unique risks. From there, we'll walk through a framework for actually managing them. And finally, we'll talk about how you can turn all of this work into a real competitive advantage. Okay, Section 1, the 2026 AI Imperative. This is all about learning to navigate this dual reality we're in, one with just incredible opportunity on one side and some pretty significant, often hidden risk on the other. You know, this quote from the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, it just perfectly nails the tension we're all dealing with. The promise of AI is, well, it's totally transformative, but the risks, they go way beyond just tech issues. We're talking societal, environmental, organizational risks. This is the tightrope every single leader is going to have to walk. And that brings us right to Section 2. It's time to map the enterprise risk. We've got to dig in and really understand the unique threat landscape that AI creates. This is where we get specific about what you're actually up against. When you think about AI risk, please think bigger than a data breach. The NIST framework gives us a great way to organize this, thinking about potential harms in 3 buckets that really matter to the C-suite. First, harm to people, things like bias, discrimination, even impacts on civil liberties. Second, harm to your organization. That's your reputation, your operations, your bottom line. And third, harm to the ecosystem, think destabilizing supply chains or even financial markets. Now here's the crucial part. Managing AI risk is a whole different ballgame than managing traditional software. You've got inscrutability, the black box problem, where you might not even know how an AI made a critical decision. Then there are third-party risks. You're plugging in models from other companies and they come with their own hidden baggage. And maybe the scariest one is emergent risks, where a system develops completely unforeseen and potentially harmful behaviors after you've already deployed it. Imagine the liability there. Okay, so faced with all these unique challenges, how in the world do you get a handle on it? Well, that's what brings us to Section 3, building the governance framework. This is where we shift from talking about the problem to laying out a structured, proven solution. And at the heart of that solution is the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. Now, this isn't just theory. It's a really practical, actionable tool. It's built around this continuous cycle of 4 key functions: govern, map, measure, and manage. And you can see how govern is right there in the middle. It's the foundation that influences everything else. Let's walk through what each of these means. It all starts right here with govern. This is the leadership part. It's about building a culture of risk management from the very top. It means defining who's accountable and making dead sure that every AI initiative aligns with your company's core values and your actual tolerance for risk. So once that culture is in place, you map. It's simple, right? You can't manage a risk you don't know you have. This is the discovery phase. You're basically creating a catalog of where AI exists in your organization, what it's supposed to be doing, and what its potential impacts, good and bad, could be on people and on the business. With that map in your hands, you can now measure. This is the step that makes all those abstract risks feel real and tangible. It's where you develop the metrics to analyze, to assess, and to track these risks over time. You're turning fuzzy concepts into actual data that can drive smart decisions. And all that measurement leads directly to how you manage. Based on real data, you can prioritize and, most importantly, act. This is where those tough go, no-go decisions get made. Do we mitigate a risk, avoid it completely, or do we formally accept it with our eyes wide open? This is where governance becomes action. So what's the end game here? Why go through all this trouble?
Well, the goal isn't just to avoid getting in trouble. It's about proactively building what NIST calls trustworthy AI, a system that all your stakeholders, from your customers to your regulators, can actually count on because they know it's safe, it's fair, it's transparent, and it's secure. This is literally what trust looks like in the age of AI. All right, this brings us to our final and, I think, most strategic section, forging the governance advantage. This is where we flip the script. We're going to stop looking at this as a defensive chore and start seeing it for what it is, a powerful, proactive way to get ahead of the competition. I mean, just look at this slide. The choice couldn't be clearer. On one side, you have the tech-led organization. They move fast, sure, but their public trust is brittle. Their risks are totally uncontrolled, and they're always scrambling to react when something goes wrong. Then you have the governance-led organization. They build real, defensible trust. They innovate at a sustainable pace, and they're always prepared for what's next. Which company would you rather lead? Which one would you rather invest in? And the key takeaway here is that governance delivers a real, tangible return. This is not a cost center. It's an investment in a resilient, future-proofed business. And what does that investment get you? Sharper decision-making, a culture that your customers and your employees can actually trust, and the kind of deep knowledge that helps you prevent those catastrophic failures down the road. It builds accountability right into the DNA of your organization. And so we end right back where we started, but hopefully with a totally new perspective. The question for every leader is no longer if you'll deal with AI governance, but how. So by 2026, is it going to be the anchor that's weighing you down with lawsuits and reputational hits? Or is it going to be your strategic compass guiding you to a position of leadership, trust, and a lasting advantage? The choice, really, is yours to make.